For weeks, the entire investigation team believed they were chasing shadows. Every trail went cold, every lead vanished, and every piece of crucial evidence in the Yu Minglong case seemed to disappear just when it mattered most. Rumors circled endlessly online, threads, forums, private chat groups, each pointing to one missing object, a single digital file. A file so mysterious that investigators called it the Phantom File. People whispered that it contained Yu Minglong's final conversation before his death. A conversation someone desperately wanted buried forever. For a long time, everyone assumed the file had been permanently destroyed, wiped clean by whoever orchestrated the cover-up. But then, in a twist no one saw coming, the file reappeared, and it didn't just return quietly, it resurfaced with enough force to change the entire course of the investigation. Early this morning, a digital forensics specialist, working with a third-party private team, not the official authorities, stepped forward with an explosive revelation. According to his report, someone had tried to erase the file. In fact, many attempts had been made. But the person who tried to delete it made a fatal mistake. They didn't know the device had an automatic backup feature. While the main storage was wiped clean, the system secretly pushed a copy to a hidden cloud folder, one that even the actor's agency had forgotten existed years ago. Buried under outdated folders and unused servers, the Phantom File remained untouched, until now. Shockingly, the only person who remembered the server at all was Qiang. And that's exactly why he allegedly spent months trying to quietly shut it down. Requesting maintenance, forcing system resets, and even trying to decommission the server entirely. All of it, insiders now say, was a frantic attempt to erase a digital ghost he couldn't outrun. So what exactly was inside this Phantom File? Authorities still refuse to release the full audio, citing an active fictional investigation. But insiders, people exposed to the leaked fragments, have provided chilling descriptions. Instead of shouting or violence, the recording contains something far more unsettling, a whispered confrontation inside Yu Minglong's dressing room. The voices sound strained, tense, almost rehearsed, words that cut through the silence like knives. You promised me the truth. Stop pretending you're helping me. If this gets out, we both go down. One of the voices is believed to belong to Yu Minglong. The second voice is still unconfirmed, but those who heard it say it carries a lower, deeper tone. And here's the shock that has sent the entire fandom into chaos. It does not sound like Qiang. People close to the investigation now suspect a third person, someone unknown to the public, was involved in the final hours leading up to the actor's death. Online, this mysterious figure has already been given a name, the Shadow Benefactor. Fans believe this revelation finally explains so many strange events that never made sense, like why the hallway cameras went dark at the critical moment, why system logs were mysteriously edited, why Qiang has still not been arrested, despite overwhelming evidence, why messages, calls, and footage were wiped with impossible precision. According to this growing theory, Qiang may not be the mastermind after all. He may have been acting under someone else's orders. Someone with far more power. Someone who needed the truth buried deeper than anyone could reach. As if that wasn't enough, the Phantom File isn't the only thing now pointing in Qiang's direction. In a dramatic reversal, his attempts to erase evidence are being used as evidence against him. Every deletion attempt created a digital fingerprint, a trace, a timestamp, a log entry, and now those fingerprints form a roadmap of his movements, his actions, and his panic. For 2 long months, the circumstances surrounding Yu Minglong's death remained drowned in rumors, silence, and conflicting testimonies, but everything changed when a new, explosive leak surfaced, an anonymously delivered Master Surveillance Reconstruction video. This wasn't just raw footage. It was a fully compiled and synchronized reconstruction that combined hallway cameras, smart lock access logs, and hidden internal building feeds, piecing together everything that happened during the final hour of Yu Minglong's life. The truth revealed by this reconstruction is far more complex and disturbing than anyone ever imagined. At first, people assumed the tragedy was the result of a single person, a single argument, or a single moment of conflict. But the footage exposes something much larger, a coordinated operation involving multiple individuals close to the actor, and one visitor whose presence has left the entire fictional nation in shock. The video begins with 4 individuals entering Yu's dressing suite shortly before his death. Their timelines were once chaotic, fragmented, and contradictory, but when aligned, they form a pattern, a sequence too precise to be coincidence. First appears the manager, Qiang. He paces the hallway, wipes surfaces with a cloth, and makes a series of frantic calls. His behavior, once dismissed as panic, now looks deliberate, almost choreographed. Next, the film director shows up with a sealed folder in hand. He stays for only a few minutes, but when he leaves, witnesses describe his face as ashen, terrified, like he had seen something he wished he hadn't. Then come 2 of Yu's supposed close friends, caught on camera guarding the hallway, checking their phones, and exchanging glances that look more like fear than concern. They seem to be waiting for instructions, looking up and down the corridor as if expecting someone important. The timestamps tell an undeniable story. 9:27 p.m., the friends arrive, visibly nervous, positioning themselves near the door like reluctant guards. 9:33 p.m., the director enters with the sealed folder. Insiders believe it contains Yu's discovery of serious financial discrepancies linked to the film's production. 9:41 p.m., manager Qiang enters while speaking in short, sharp phrases on his phone. He looks like he's receiving strict orders. Then it happens. 9:48 p.m., camera glitch. For exactly 2 minutes, every hallway camera flickers into static. Not a regular malfunction. System logs confirm unauthorized remote access during that exact timeframe. This blackout becomes the defining turning point of the entire case. At 9:50 p.m., the final visitor arrives, escorted by 2 security personnel. The visitor's face is hidden, but the audio picks up a single, chilling line. "End this." The voice. Experts say it matches the Supreme Leader, a figure powerful enough to suppress media, rewrite narratives, and block investigations. At 3 a.m., everyone leaves the room one by one, each avoiding the cameras. Only Yu Minglong remains behind. Minutes later, the emergency call is made. And just like that, the truth begins to unravel. As investigators dove deeper into the reconstructed surveillance timeline, one question rose above all others. Why was this case suppressed for nearly 2 months? Fans online had their theories, but none of them fully captured the weight of what the master video actually revealed. And when private analysts examined the audio clipping attributed to the final unidentified visitor, the one escorted into Yu Minglong's dressing suite, the implications became even more staggering. In fictional universes, the phrase "supreme leader" often refers to a shadowy, untouchable figure, someone who controls more than an industry, someone who shapes national narratives and decides which truths the public is allowed to see. And according to multiple independent sound engineers, the voice captured in that single chilling phrase, "End this," was a near-perfect match for this very figure. The moment this revelation hit the internet, viewers, fans, and even industry insiders were suddenly able to connect dots that previously made no sense. Deleted footage, duplicate files mysteriously wiped, evidence that vanished in transit, witnesses changing statements, investigators restricted from entering certain rooms, press conferences abruptly cancelled. This wasn't the chaos of a normal investigation. This was the pattern of a state-level cover-up, one meticulously designed to collapse under scrutiny while appearing orderly from the outside. And it immediately reframed every rumor surrounding Qiang. For weeks, he'd been painted as the villain, a manipulative manager who controlled access, wiped fingerprints, and micro-managed Yu Minglong's final hours. But now, with the Phantom file recovered and the master video leaked, his behavior no longer looked like the actions of someone in control. It looked like the actions of someone being controlled. The director's panicked expression. The friends guarding the hallway despite shaking hands. The abrupt 2-minute camera blackout. The hidden visitor escorted by elite-level security. Piece by piece, the narrative shifted. Du Qiang may have been guilty of many things. But masterminding the operation, that seemed less likely by the day. He appeared more like the shield, the person who takes the heat, absorbs the accusations, and distracts from the true orchestrator. But if that was the case, it raised an even more terrifying question. What was everyone so afraid Yu Minglong would reveal? The secret Yu Minglong uncovered. The sealed folder the director carried has become one of the most debated elements of the video. According to insiders from the fictional film industry, Yu had discovered a massive financial discrepancy tied to the production, money routed into unknown accounts, projects that existed only on paper, and budgets that didn't match the film's actual expenses. If this was true, then Yu Minglong wasn't just a victim of circumstance. He may have stumbled into something far larger, a network of illegal funding, political ties, or financial misconduct hidden beneath the glitz of the entertainment world. When the director arrived at 9:33 p.m., sources say he wasn't coming to deliver information, he was coming to retrieve it. His brief time in the room, followed by his terrified departure, suggests he either confirmed Yu's suspicions, or learned something even worse. Moments later, Du Qiang's frantic phone call can now be interpreted in a new light. Instead of conspiring, he may have been warning someone that Yu had uncovered evidence he was never meant to see. Then came the blackout. Those 2 minutes of static are the most analyzed section of the entire leak. According to tech specialists, the interference required high-level remote access and specialized software, tools far beyond the abilities of an ordinary manager or director. And then, at 9:50 p.m., the final visitor appeared. The shadow benefactor theory. The deeper toned voice in the Phantom file and the hidden figure in the reconstruction video may be the same person, and this is where the fictional shadow benefactor theory has exploded across the internet. The theory claims a powerful industry figure financially backed Yu's career. Yu discovered unethical or illegal practices tied to this person. The benefactor feared exposure and moved to silence him. Du Qiang and others were coerced or threatened into compliance. The blackout, the altered logs, and the conflicting reports were all part of the cleanup operation. According to online analysts, the shadow benefactor may have acted as the bridge between the entertainment world and political influence, giving the supreme leader plausible deniability while ensuring Yu Minglong's silence. Though fictional, the narrative captures the public's imagination because of its chilling symmetry. A gifted actor discovers the wrong truth at the wrong time, and the system closes around him like a vice. The night unravels. By 3 a.m., the video shows each participant leaving Yu's dressing suite. None of them look back. None acknowledge the cameras. Their silence, their avoidance, and their synchronized departure speak volumes. And then, nothing. Just a long hallway, empty except for the dim glow of the emergency lights. Minutes later, the emergency call goes out. And with it, the beginning of a months-long storm. But the strangest part, the one thing that haunted investigators from the start. No one seemed surprised. Not the director. Not the friends. Not even Du Qiang. It was as if everyone had already accepted the outcome, except Yu Minglong. The system that failed him. As pressure mounted, questions began to pour in from every corner of the fictional nation. Why did investigators arrive late? Why did no one from the agency speak publicly? Why did the media avoid certain topics? Why were reporters instructed to stay aligned with official statements? Why did every digital log seem to have one small, inexplicable error? Now, with the master video available, the picture becomes painfully clear. This wasn't just a tragedy. It was a coordinated effort to reshape the narrative, suppress discomforting truths, and protect the reputations of those with the most to lose. Qiang may have played a role. The director may have panicked. The friends may have followed orders. But none of them appear to have been operating on their own. They were pieces in a much larger machine, one powerful enough to silence a rising star and rewrite the memory of his final moments. A fictional nation reacts. The release of the master video has transformed the case from an entertainment scandal into a national crisis. Agencies are locking down their internal servers. Lawyers are preparing statements. Fans are mobilizing across social platforms. Independent investigators are dissecting each frame of footage. The public is demanding accountability, not just for Yu Minglong, but for everyone who allowed such a system to exist in the first place. Trust has been shattered. The official narrative is collapsing. And for the first time in 2 months, the world feels closer than ever to the truth. But the most important question still remains unanswered. Who, or what, was everyone protecting that night?